Now, Glenn, as Ren said, we can't get through an episode without touching on property. And there are a couple of questions around affordability and feeling stressed about not being able to get into the market as first home owners, particularly in capital cities. So what are some things that you generally need to put in place, if you do have the goal of owning a home? And I guess what are the financial considerations to think about when buying your first property, particularly in, expensive capital cities?
Yeah. So property naturally comes up a lot in our conversations. I was super chuffed. One of our members I've been working with for probably about 2.5 years. She reached out to us with about $40,000 of bad debt, credit card, personal loans, things like that. And a couple of weeks ago, she settled on her first property,
Nice.
two bedroom apartment in Bondi. So no
Epic.
small, no
Wow.
small
Okay.
feat. What she had was a plan, and she had a really clear goal, and we took away all of the noise. And I'm not in denial about the fact that buying property in any capital Sydney, and we work with people all across Australia, is really bloody hard. It's really hard, but I don't want people to be, I guess, put off by all of the clickbait and the headlines that you see around you can't do it. You can. We may need to taper expectations. It might not be the forever home, right off the bat. It could be, it could be an investment property as a starting point to kind of build that momentum. It might be a small apartment, which in 5 years we then, have aspirations to upgrade to a bigger property. You can do it. You just need to be really clear on what those goalposts look like, and then work backwards from that. So going into to this question and going, I want to buy my first property. The first thing I'd work through is, what does that look like? So is it an apartment? Is it a house? Is it an investment? Is it one you're living in? What is the rough guide around what you're looking to spend? And then get really clear on cash flow. So what I mean by that is, if you're looking to purchase, I'm just using, again, round numbers, $1 million property, and we want to work towards a 10% deposit. So we're comfortable that we might have to pay a little bit of lender's mortgage insurance, and I won't go down that rabbit hole, but we need $100,000. Then if we're putting away $2,000 every single month consistently, then in 4 years' time, we'll be buying that $1 million apartment. Okay, so be clear on what the goal is and then work backwards from that. If you're just saving whatever's left over at the end of each month in an account that's called the house deposit, which you often then dip into for
100%.
new TV,
Yeah.
European vacations,
Yeah.
things like that, then that's gonna put that goal back. If you quarantine that money, you put the $2,000 in, and you leave that aside, and you've got a separate account for that lifestyle, bigger ticket item discretionary spend, that's going to give you that understanding in terms of when you're going to be there.
Yeah. I think I set up my house deposit fund savings account in my first week of uni. Way too ambitious. Way too ambitious.
Well, that's probably part of the challenge. It's like, you set it up, but if you don't believe it's realistic, it's just like,
that
whatever.
was exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I was like, it was such a far-fetched dream that I was like, any money going in here, I know I'm going to need for something else.
Who
But
knew? It only took you.
aspiration.
It took you 15 years from you setting up that account
Exactly.
to buying a house.
There you go. There you go. It is possible.
Yeah, it's really, I see it time and time again. And again, I want to preface this. It's hard, right? Like, there's going to be trade-offs. It might not be Europe every year. It might be Bali every second year. Do you know what I mean? But you can do it. So don't, there's a lot of, the media does really put out a lot of clickbait and make it, really, I suppose, feel unachievable. But if you don't know what it is you're trying to achieve, then how do you know whether it's achievable or not?
Yeah. It's so funny you say that example. Last year, Harriet, my wife, and I went to Europe for 5 weeks in July. bought a house at the end of last year. This year we're going to Bali.
Not so bad though.
No, I can't
Not
wait.
so bad.
Must be nice.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. True. Equity mind.
I will say this about investing. Everything you do learn is cumulative. What I learned at 20 is useful.